Hello everyone, hello chat, hi guys, welcome to my stream. I hope we're live. We might be live, I'm not quite sure that we're live. I'm at my desk right now, and what you're seeing is in fact obviously my desk. And the reason for that is, this gearbox here, is the gearbox from inside one of my beloved airsoft guns. And unfortunately that airsoft gun has crapped itself. It's dead. And I'm not 100% sure what's the issue. So today what we're gonna do on stream is I'm gonna take like an hour or so and just crack the gearbox open and figure out what's going on. For context, it's not reacting to my trigger pull anymore. So just to demonstrate, I'm gonna connect a motor right quick. This is a Kublai speed motor, it's what I've been running so far, which is why I was suspicious that it might be a motor issue, but I don't think it is. I'm 100% certain it's either a trigger or MOSFET issue. Could be an unplugged cable, because it broke when it fell. Could also be that the MOSFET is fucked from the fall. Or it could be that the trigger unit itself is broken. I have a replacement unit for the trigger. I can obviously replug it. If the MOSFET's fucked, then we're not fixing it today, because then it's gonna take a month until I come back from Taiwan, and then I can whack a Parent ETU++ on here instead, and then we'll be fine. But that's gonna be a while, so I'm hoping it's not that. I hope it's not as serious. I hope I can just replug a cable and get it working again today. So yeah. Obviously, as you can see, I've already removed a couple of screws, and that's what I'm doing right now. I'm just removing these screws. Wait, I just plugged in the battery. I'm dumb. Here, see, so for demonstration, I'm gonna pull the trigger. Nothing happens. Nothing at all. It's fucked. So, I'm gonna tear the gearbox open and check whether the cable's plugged in, which I'm guessing it might not be. Like, I'm guessing that might be our issue. I'm not saying it necessarily is, but I'm saying there's a fair chance. Right, get on out of there. Another screw. Also, I hate this mouse mat. Like, I love this mouse mat, but I hate this mouse mat. Which is why I'm using it as an underground to do this work on. Because once it's fucked, I have another one in my shelf that I'm gonna put on my desk instead. So, like, it's fine. But yeah. You'll also note, I'm not... I like teching, I enjoy it, it's fun. But admittedly, I'm not a very good tech. So I lack the skills, and I don't mind using fucked things, which means that those fucked things will fuck even harder, will fuck up even harder, which can cause damages, can cause issues. So things like these are pretty common for me. It happens every now and then. I mean, the thing is, I generally also just work with a lot of second-hand parts because they're very cheap to get and easy to replace. So yeah, okay. This gearbox likes holding shut by itself, which is fine, obviously. So let's get on in here and just use the screwdriver as leverage to get her opened up. There's that. I had to shim the trigger on this one before because, yeah, let's see. I can't tell whether that's unplugged or not. So for now I'm gonna just take out a couple of parts in order to make sure I don't have to reshim this thing. Because that's something I haven't scheduled for today and I don't really have the energy for. My last shimming on this was pretty darn good. And the AOE, well, I'm not gonna bother demonstrating right now, but it's also pretty good at the moment. So I'm gonna just go ahead, use a flathead to get the trigger contacts out of there. And then from there we will see whether upon replugging they seat better, which I'm assuming that's probably the issue, because while the G MOSFET is kind of notorious, I'm not gonna say it's necessarily true, but it's notorious for breaking, the trigger switch seems to be pretty reliable, and I can still feel it click when I pull the trigger. So, yeah. This cable does not want to come out. I mean, I know it's... oh fuck, I just broke the switch thingy, didn't I? Pretty sure I did. Well, it's not an electronic part, it's probably okay. Let's try replugging it in. I hope my hair is not in the way or anything. No, I don't think it. Let's have a quick look first. Looks like everything's plugged in, all the connectors seem to be okay. Cable looks fine, the outer wrap got scuffed a little, but I don't see any exposed wiring. So I'm assuming it's probably really just this here. No, it was plugged in properly. That's not good, because that implies that it's probably the MOSFET that's fucked. Which means we probably won't be able to get her moving today anymore. I could use some lube. Inside of the nozzle could use some lubricant. Just the O-ring, obviously. Yeah. She's not looking so good, I'll be honest. I'm gonna replace the trigger switch just because I have a replacement, and so why not? Plus the replacement is semi-locked, which is a benefit because that means I can use this on the Speedsoft field without having to be worried about the selector position. I'm also thinking about filing down a safe switch, but I don't want to bother right now. So, yeah. Okay, let's start by undoing this cable again. Okay, yeah, it's this lever, okay. Alright, that should be everything I need to do to get the G&G ETU out, actually. Where is that screwdriver at? Here it is. So I keep my screwdriver bits behind me on the windowsill because my room is a fucking cluttered mess and my life isn't... Well, my life's good, but I feel like a lot of people wouldn't enjoy this. I do. I like it. So what you can see here is the switch still is intact. This is still on there. This is the switch that activates full auto, that detects that. Honestly, I might just isolate this for a second and just see whether the switch is working and whether the other switch is gonna make a difference to that. I also super glued the cables in here, so I'm not gonna be able to take them out completely, but I'm just gonna... So this is my secondary switch unit here. I got this one used as well, and as you can see, I've removed the switch. I've just torn it out with a pair of pliers. Here, that's where it would normally sit. Here's the two of them next to each other. You can see this one doesn't have it, this one does. Okay, so I'm gonna plug in the one without for a second and see if it works then. So this is the one, this would be the replacement part. I'm connecting a motor again. Let's go as a weaker one, I don't want it to tear up the fucking disc with vibrations. So that can sit there, and now we take a battery. Probably shouldn't be testing this with a lipo, huh? Whatever, I'm gonna do it anyway because I'm an idiot. Right there. And now we press the button. Yep, it was the trigger switch. Okay, this works. It's working. Hallelujah. We are saved. I literally just need to replace the trigger switch unit and we're good. I mean, I feel like this one might still work fine. I feel like it might have just been a shaky contact. But I'm just gonna install this one because I've been wanting to semi-lock this gearbox for a while anyway, so I mean, why not, right? Let's just go ahead, get that in there. Run the cable so it's out of the way. Come on. Go in there, will you? Okay. I will say, one thing that the G&G trigger mechanism does better than anyone else is fucking cable routing. Like, all the others just have a little bit of extra cable sleeve around, and they're like, it'll be fine, your trigger's gonna rub against it, eventually it's gonna rub the cables open. And to be fair, it probably is fine. I've never seen a trigger actually rub its way through that. But I just like having that additional security of it actually being routed out of the way. You know? I'm a huge sucker for G&G's switch ETUs. Like micro switches, just because they're so reliable in a weird way. Like, I don't need to be scared of them breaking. And it's so satisfying to be able to train with this thing without having an actual battery in it. Because, like, normally you have to have a battery in it to get any kind of feedback. Like with a Parent hybrid, or with a magnetic MOSFET like the Parent hybrid, or with an optical MOSFET like the Parent optical or the Gate Aster. You have to have a battery in it, or your gun's not going to give you any feedback when it fires. And that's kind of unsatisfying, right? You want that feedback. So yeah, I really quite like the physical trigger on the trigger switch on the ETU here. Which is why, like, I think, honestly, if I had the choice between a G&G ETU as a Parent ETU++ and a Parent hybrid, I would go with the G&G ETU. Unironically. I will say I wouldn't if I don't have a quick change gearbox. Like, this setup is fucking annoying because I don't have a quick change gearbox, which means I have to use this clamp, for example, because otherwise I'm not getting this thing together with the spring pressure. But okay, am I missing anything? No, I'm not. Okay, cool. Then let's put her back together. As usual, I'm gonna use a screwdriver I have right here. Long, thin screwdriver to put pressure on the spring and keep it in place as I insert it. And I'm gonna hold the other half of the gearbox shell in my hand already as I begin tensioning the spring, so that I can maintain pressure through the cylinder port while also placing this inside. Because something that tends to happen with things like these is that the cylinder jumps out. Obviously, this is a 0.5 joule gun and it's using a very weak spring, so that's not as much of a concern, but it's just a habit and I do it anyway. So yeah, let's get all of our gears aligned. What's this one doing? That's not good. Wait. Let's see. Fucking. That's out of place. That has jumped. I don't know if I can even fit that again. I'm gonna need to open her up again. Okay. Yep, indeed, that is fucked up. I don't know how that happened. I even have to clamp and everything. But fine. Hope it holds tight this time. Looking good so far. Okay, I can probably pull this tab now. Okay. And she's back together. Now I've just got to put all the screws back in, and then we can reinstall her into the receiver. So a bunch of shit on this gun broke, by the way. Like I still have a short that I'm gonna upload in like a week or so of this gun in its original state. But I don't think I'm gonna be able to even get it properly working again. In the way it originally was. Because the handguard has a bit that's broken. It's still usable, but there's a part of it that I don't want to use anymore. I don't want to use the thing anymore because one of the parts of it snapped. I'd rather redesign a completely new one. And then the drop stock on it broke, and I printed a new one overnight that's already about to be installed here. So we're gonna do that in a minute, although I'm not sure how well that's going to be represented on camera. But it'll probably be fine. I'm sorry, my desk is a little bit of a cramped space because I am chaotic as fuck. But you know, I'm okay with this. It's still at a point where I can easily clean up this mess if I have to. So, like, it's not anything bad, I'm fine with this. Also, this is like a really old, what's it called? What's the brand called again? Fucking, Kingcraft electric screwdriver. And I kind of want to get a new one, because I have two of these. I got them from my dad. They're basically half as old as me, like, each of them is at least 7-8 years old. We've had them as long as I can remember. And the batteries on them are pretty much fucked at this point. They're nickel-cadmium batteries, 8.4 volts. And they don't hold a charge anymore. Like, I used this thing for 5 minutes, it's empty. When I started this rebuild, this thing was fully charged. And it's almost empty now. We can probably tangent this a little more, but I don't really want to. I'm quite happy with the trigger pull I'm currently getting on this model. So yeah, let's not. I'm gonna move my keyboard out of the way so I can have my whole desk for this, because it's gonna take some space. This is gonna get chucked into my spare parts bin for testing with another MOSFET later. Okay, let's begin by installing it into the lower receiver. Yep. We can... I'm actually quite thrilled that we were able to get this to work. Now, just to be clear, the way I'm routing these cables is generally not a good idea. But I've done it before, and this receiver, this is a really cheap CYMA entry-level plastic, fully polymer AEG receiver. And the grip I'm using with it also has a decent bit of distance to the actual receiver, so I can route the cables in there with no problem. And it's actually a lot easier than normally, how you would normally route your cables. There we go, it's seated, it's in there. So it's not a problem at all. But I wouldn't normally advise running the cables through the receiver instead of through the gearbox. Just in this case, it's much easier because they're not interfering with the motor that way. I can easily run them around the motor, and that's nice, you know? So, let's get our rear body pin in there now to fixate the gearbox in place. And then with the added little bit of pressure from the motor grip, it's gonna hold tight for sure. Let's see, the cables are a little in the way right now. Here we go. Come on. Yep. We've got the pin screw. Now I'm just gonna put in this side. Here we go. That is in there. Let's put in the motor grip and test before we continue. It's like putting on the upper receiver and mag catch in an airsoft gun is kind of like closing the side panel in a Windows PC. You don't do it till you've confirmed it's working. So for a motor grip, I'm using this thing. It's really cheap and honestly kind of crappy. But I've slightly bored out the rear hole. And that way I can run both of my cables through there, no problem. I've run this grip for a long time at this point. This is my oldest receiver in terms of that, so, and I've had this grip matched to this receiver for a very long time as well. If you don't already have one and you want to tech airsoft, get yourself one of these really long screwdrivers. They make everything so much easier, like installing a screw in your buffer tube, or putting screws in your motor grip like I'm doing right now. I don't even have my stream pulled up right now. I wonder if anyone's watching. I have no idea. Wait, let's do that actually. I should have done that much sooner. Muted. Okay, cool. And yep, there goes the other screw. Gonna just plop that in. Also, magnetic screwdrivers are a great invention, and I love them. Now here's the question. I'm thinking about salvaging the Crytek base motor that I currently have in another one of my AEGs and throwing it in here, because that base motor isn't strong enough for its use case, actually. I actually need a high torque motor, which I've got in the mail. It's still not here today. Are you shitting me? So originally it was supposed to be delivered on Monday, but I just checked and it says it's gonna get delivered on Wednesday. It's not gonna get here on time, is it? I'm not gonna be able to install it before I go to Taiwan. That's... not gonna lie, that's mildly upsetting. Actually, I'm not happy with that. Let's just use a base motor for the heck of it. The trigger response will probably be fine. It's standard 18:1s. It doesn't have to be like crazy, you know? It'll be fine. So let's plop this in here. Red side to the front, because the red cable's considerably longer. Let's see, does it fit? No, the pinion's too big. The pinion doesn't fit through the hole in the motor grip. I'm just gonna pull out my box of motors. Up. Got these motors from Shopgun's essentially outlet guy, I guess. Because he always sells stuff that it seems like they get out of projects. So yeah, let's just use one of Specna Arms' motors. Although I feel like this pinion is even bigger actually, so it still might not fit, but we'll see. Yeah, it doesn't. Okay. Maybe one of these. I'm really just trying around. Most of these I don't even know what strengths of motor they are and what RPM and what TPA they have. I'm really just looking for one that'll actually fit in here. Let's just, at least for testing, let's just use the Kublai speed that we had in here earlier because we know it fits. Yep, there we go. Black cable first because it's shorter, red cable second because it's less complicated. Put the cables back in the motor grip because we're not fucking animals and we don't want to cut them with the base plate. That would be stupid. Right. Let's take a second to move these back out of the way. We've got a motor in already, so why would we keep the box up, right? Okay, so 1 second, I need to get this right because I don't want to damage the cables. Yep, that should be alright. Yep, looks alright. Cool. Gonna just push down, I guess. Oh, no. The cable's almost getting squished there. That's not good. That's fine. Oh yeah, that's not almost anywhere. That needs to go down there. Go down below. Get down there. That's the downside of running them like this. The cables are pretty long on this side, so obviously they're gonna stand out a little, but that's okay. So I'm not using the stock screws for this because they... A, I lost one of them, and B, they're just not very good. But I've got some that have the same specifications, so I'm gonna use those instead. The downside is they're not black, so they're gonna stand out a little bit. The upside is they're better. And I'll be honest, between visuals and performance, I will always choose performance. I value visuals, they're important to me, but in an airsoft gun, when I'm investing money into it, I want performance rather than flash. So that's the motor tightened. I'm gonna loosen the actual screw though, because I don't want it over tightened. I don't want the motor to seize up after all, so I'm gonna slightly loosen it for the first shot, just to confirm it'll shoot at all like this. Okay, it'll be fine I think. Let's get the battery connected and see if it'll work. I think it is too tight, isn't it? It's seized up because it's struggling. Why is it struggling? It's weird. So the motor seems to be struggling here. That seems to be an issue. It did fire. You heard it fire, I think, hopefully. But the motor is definitely not strong enough. That's something I've noticed though. Something's wrong with these fucking Kublai speed motors. They're trash. What are they even rated for? I've got an M60 screw in here with an 18:1 gear set, and this motor isn't able to overcome the fucking friction of ball bearings. In what world does that make sense? Like, this build is optimized for a speed motor. It's got a high fucking... It's got a base torque gear set, right? With a really, really weak spring. It should be fine, but it's not. It's just not. It's just not good. So let's pull it out and see what we can do about this. I don't know if you can see this on camera, but the base of the motor is actually considerably wider than the actual gearbox. So if I can't get a motor to fit in this, I'm going to have to bore out the gearbox, and God knows I do not want to do that today. So we'll have to see. I'm sure I'll find one that fits. One of them's bound to. Let's try the TFC M120, right? Or not M120, like TFC 120. Sure, that might work. No, it won't. Why? Why not? I wonder if I can maybe salvage the pinion off of the speed motor and throw it onto one of my torquier motors. The reason I wonder that is because I don't think I have a screw that'll fit it, and they're usually Loctited to fuck. So I definitely had my concerns for a reason. It doesn't seem like I have any bits that'll fit this. Yeah, I'm not gonna be able to salvage the pinion. It's not gonna happen. Okay. Then we're gonna have to find a different solution. I mean, it looks like this one's pinion is about the same spec, so we'll try it. Yeah, this one fits actually. Fits pretty good actually. Okay, let's have a go at that then. Again, moving the box aside, because we got ourselves a motor. And once again, gonna just do the cabling right quick. Okay. Go on then. So we've got that all in there now. Let's grab the base plate and plop that on as well. Should be fine in theory. Why is it not? Am I holding it wrong? What's going on here? Does the motor not go in after all? No, it went in though. It was fine. Is it? Oh god. Did I fuck up the shimming by accident? Did I leave any shims out? No, I don't think so. Doesn't seem to be the issue either. Let's try just loosening the screw a lot to reduce tension. Oh, fuck this, man. I just want to get this stupid piece of shit gun working again. I'm not even planning on using it anytime soon. It's honestly not even much of a priority. But yeah. I feel like I've shimmed it way too tight, possibly. And that could be the source of our issue. That would at least explain why I can't seem to close it. But that would still be weird though, because I took a lot of time to shim it and I used bevel to pinion for the original motor. So even though, like, it shouldn't be able to be this drastically off. But clearly there's enough tension on the motor to bend the actual base plate, so... Shit. I mean, that seems like that really might be the issue, in which case I'm gonna have to open it back up and fix it. It turned freely just now though, it just wasn't, it's just not going in, is it? Yeah, it's just not inside the gearbox, so it's not my shimming that's off. It's the fucking gearbox opening that's just way too small for anything. That's a bit of an issue as well. Okay, fine. Let's see. Fucking hell. Considering that almost anything in Airsoft is pretty much TM Repro, you would have thought that the standards would be a little bit more normalized and you'd have actual norms, but okay. I guess I was wrong about that. 1 second. Had to take a second to get my hair out of my face. That's tricky then. It's not difficult to get in there and bore it out a bit, but it's a little scary. I don't want to do that unless I really have to do that. Do I really not have any other motors that'll just fit in there? I keep going back to this because let's just see. Okay. This one, I don't have a spring on it at the moment, but it'll be fine. I can just retrieve it anyway. angling. Nope, it's not an angle meter either. Is it? Nope. Okay. So it won't fit. I'm just gonna go through them one by one now. I'm annoyed. I won't lie. I'm a bit pissed at that, actually. But it was fine with the motor earlier, so why? Okay, this one won't go in either. I'll try this one more time out of desperation. Oh, now it actually went in a good bit. Okay, was it? Oh god. Am I actually that stupid? No fucking way, right? So I just turned the bevel gear on the inside a tiny little bit with the screwdriver because I was starting to think, just from the way it was hitting it, that maybe the motor's pinion was just not aligning with the bevel gear and that's why it wouldn't go in. But if this actually fixes it, I'm gonna laugh my ass off, actually. I mean, it doesn't seem like it does. It doesn't seem like it's working, right? Like, surely that's not it. No, it doesn't seem to be it either. Oh fuck, I think I just stripped the threading on the inside of the motor grip. Oh god, please no. Okay, it's just the surface level. Okay, but it does seem to go in further than before, but it doesn't seem to have solved the issue, if that makes sense. Oh, hey, let's retry another motor, right? If that helped this motor, maybe it'll help another motor more. So, nope, still big fat nope. Cool. I need a fucking drink. Cheers. Let's keep going. Let's keep just fucking smashing him in there, because I'm an idiot. You know what, let's take the motor grip off and get a better glance at this. I should have done that a while ago. So here's the thing about me, right? I think I'm alright in terms of my tech skills, but the one big issue I have is that I hate going back and undoing my work, which means I'm really shit at doing iterative work, which is important because when you're teching on shit, things not gonna work. And when things don't work, you gotta undo them, right? You gotta fix them. But I hate undoing something I've just done. Especially when it feels like it doesn't bring me forward. In case any of y'all were wondering how it came to be that I stayed in uni, even when I knew I shouldn't and it wasn't good for me. Lol. But yeah. Okay, so we've got the gearbox actually exposed now, so let's see whether it's an actual issue of... So what's happening is the shaft is actually what's too wide. So the shaft on a lot of these motors doesn't seem to be going inside the gearbox because it's just too wide. Let's try this one. This one looks like it might fit. Right, and then on this one the pinion doesn't work and doesn't quite go in. So I might actually have to Dremel out the opening of the gearbox a bit. and I don't feel good about that. I really don't. I really don't want to do that, genuinely. But it looks like I don't really have much of a choice in the matter. The high speed motor I think was fine though. Let's see. Yeah, the high speed motor actually went in, shaft and all. So then the others don't though, or what? So this one, Specna arms the pinions too wide and doesn't go in. G&G MP5 I guess this is. Doesn't go in at all. Unnamed, also pinion. This one, pinion's fine, but the actual base is too wide. I don't have a choice. I'm gonna have to Dremel this out. So let's get the body pin undone. And I'm gonna take you to the Dremel for a second. So I'll be off screen for a sec. I'm gonna have to... Yeah, I'm gonna have to open up the gearbox, take everything out, and then bore it out with a Dremel. I hate that. That sucks ass. I might try to bullshit shortcut my way through. But we'll see. Because I don't want heat development to damage my parts. I don't want actual metal filings to end up fucking up my gears either. But I also really don't want to tear the gearbox open right now and just tear out everything and put it back in afterwards and hope it still works. So we'll see. I'll give it a try. We'll see. So since I didn't do much, I just tried to get away with it. There's not much in the way of filings. I just put on some grease to make sure it doesn't go everywhere and then cleaned it out with some cotton swab. And okay, this one went in beforehand. Which one didn't go in? The Specna arms didn't go in at all. Still won't go in. I need to do more. Okay, I don't feel confident doing more with the cabling in the way, so I'm gonna actually have to tear her open to do more. Okay, okay. Get your point. Fine. So fucking be it then. Yeah, no way around it. Okay, let's get everything out of here. I want to use one of my other motors with this afterwards. Okay. Can you tell I'm starting to go a little bit delirious from annoyance? Like, this is putting a decent bit of stress on me. It's quite unpleasant, actually. So what I'm gonna do, I think, is I'll try to see if I can get the actual bearings out with the gear. And then that way I can keep them all together and I'm not gonna be losing any shims. And I can just plop them right back in afterwards. And I realize I'm half-assing a lot here, but the thing is, I don't have time to invest 3 hours into rebuilding this gun to the best it can be. And frankly, it doesn't need to be the best it can be. So, yeah. Let's get the lower out of the way. Where did I put that screwdriver? Lost it, haven't I? Fuck. Not again. No, here it is. I'm blind. Can you hear my loathing? Because I am loathing this right now. I am not enjoying this anymore. This is dumb. I hate this. But sunk cost fallacy, you know, at this point I've got her open, I've invested all of this time and energy already. May as well actually get her working. So, yeah. Guide plug and spring are out now. Let's move the motors out of the way for now. Won't need them till later anyway. Guide plug and spring. Yeah. Cylinder assembly. Sector gear. Anti-reversal latch. Just gonna get the shims on it, and then we've got our bevel gear. And we've got the spur gear. Alright. Gonna have to tuck the cables out of the way because again they're super glued in there, I can't get them out easily. So, let's plot the two halves together and see if a motor will fit through yet. Right? Because that's the end goal, it doesn't need to go further than that. Okay, it went in, no problem. So, we are fully prepared to reassemble this. I should have worn a fucking mask. I forgot rule 1 of fucking sanding anything safety. Oh god. I'm gonna have a panic attack over this later tonight. I'm a fucking idiot. Why did I do that? Too late now, whatever. Okay. Gonna vacuum this up once I'm done. But for now this is okay. Spur goes first, because it's the bottom one and doesn't require anything to be in before. Then it can be sector, because why not? And yeah. Also, just for the record, right, these bearings, these are Bugatti bearings. They're okay, but they're not that great. They're not they are an upgrade, but they're not a huge upgrade over like stock fucking metal bushings. Right. Oh. Oh. Alright, I was gonna loop the inner O-ring of the nozzle for a second. I'm looking for a brush for context. I have one somewhere, but I need to actually find it. There we go. It's a former miniature painting brush, but all of my miniature painting brushes are fucked, so I'm gonna have to get myself a new set sometime anyway. So yeah. I just heard something. Am I still in a Discord call right now? I hope I'm not in a Discord call right now. I might be in a Discord call right now. I am. Shit. Okay, well, that's that. But, hey. So I've got some lube in there. It's a little too much, so I'm gonna actually remove some again with the brush. Okay. The nozzle is definitely fucked up, by the way. It's in horrible condition, but as long as it works, I don't give a shit about that. And it does seem to be working, as far as I can tell. So, we're fine. Piston. Little worn down, but it's okay. It's got some scratches, it's got gunk in it, I don't need to clean it, I'm lazy. It's a CYMA, it'll be okay. Now let's turn this a little, just to get the teeth and the thingy out of the way. Because I need to be able to seat everything. I'm happy to see that there's still plenty of lubricant still in here, so I don't really need to replace anything. That's a little concerning. The tappet plate is very flexible, which implies to me that it's been worn down from use, but as long as it's still doing its job, which as far as I can tell it is, that might even be a good thing. Because it'll prolong its lifespan. It means that the degradation isn't making it brittle, it's making it soft. Which I will take any day of the week. Looking. So the downside of having a shimmed, good condition max trigger, or any speed trigger really, is the fucking is getting it in anywhere. Especially something finicky like this, where you have a preset place where your trigger spring is meant to sit in. Okay, everything's in here. Piston's moving freely as it should. Triggers moving. Nozzle's moving. We're good, we're good. We've just got to get the spring back in. And then we're ready to put her back together. For hopefully our last time today. Oh, come on. I'm pretty sure I've run all of my checks. Nothing to be concerned about anymore. I don't need to crack her open for double checking. She works this time, she works. Okay. Went together nice and clean, like everything's supposed to, normally. If it were ever to go to plan, which it never does. So that's that. Where's my screwdriver? Screwdriver, where are you? Where have you gone? There you are. So I hate putting in screws by hand, especially because it's just so repetitive and annoying and fucking Like, the problem isn't it being like hard, it's that it's fucking annoying. I did not hold it down properly that time. But then again, I've never been educated by anyone on how to use tools. What I know about tools is what I put together from context clues and the occasional YouTube video. So take that with a grain of salt. It's starting to really slow down now. Holy crap, I'm gonna have to recharge it again in a minute. No, what's up? There you go. Okay. So that should be... I'm so sorry, you probably heard that pretty loud, huh? That should be it for the gearbox. We can probably just plop it back in here and call it a day. We've just got to reassemble the gun. Also, you're gonna see in a minute, it doesn't currently actually have a front set. Like, it's got a barrel, but it doesn't have a handguard. Because, again, the handguard broke, and I haven't gotten around to designing and 3D printing a new one yet, because I do want to put together a completely new design for that, rather than just grab something off the net and have it break after a round on the field, actually, next time, right? Because that's obviously the place where it's most likely to take damage the next time. No, what's up with that? Come on. You wanna sit in? I know you do. Okay. Oh, it's in there. Where'd I put the body pin? Here's the body pin. I have to say, I do like receivers that get away with captive pins a lot better than I like ones like this where you have a screw-in body pin. I find that captive pins just work better in general, but for fucking bastardized like Frankenstein builds like this, like screw-in pins are definitely just the way to go, just more secure. Because I've seen too many cases where I've had a original, like, proper decent body pin and the captive one, and it wouldn't go. It just wouldn't work, no matter what I did. Because the gearbox didn't fit. Like, for example, I once tried putting a Valken gearbox inside a G&G ARP 506, and boy, was that a lesson I learned the hard way. In the end, I ended up leaving the Valken body inside the Valken receiver, and the G&G body inside the G&G receiver, and it's better for it. You know, I'm happy with the guns I have, but I still like that Valken body a lot. Well, I like them, but in different ways. So it's like, eh. Okay, we're gonna use the Specna Arms motor because that's the one I tested, so I know it works, and also because I kind of want to see what Specna Arms motors are made of, because I've heard so much good about the brand, and I haven't actually gotten hands on with one yet. Doesn't want to go in. Why doesn't it want to go in? Please go in. You're scaring me. I'm gonna get angry at you. I will yell. What is it? What's the problem? You know what? Let's pull another desperation move. You know what solves fucking every issue? A couple of love taps with a hammer. I can't believe that worked. I just very, very gently tapped it with a hammer and it's in. It fucking works now. That shouldn't have worked, but it's the solution to any fitment issue. Just very, very gently tap it with a hammer like your Fix-It Felix, and bonk. It'll work. Is that it? All the wonky parts that don't fit together, they're just horny. They need the horny bonk. And then once you give them the horny bonk, they're not horny anymore and they work. I'm very, very tempted to make a sexual joke right now, but I don't think I've set the stream to over 18 only, so I'm going to restrain myself. Viewer discretion is advised, though. This is not a stream for kids. I don't do a lot of bad things, but I will make bad jokes sometimes, and I swear a lot. I cuss a lot, so just don't fucking... If you're a child, don't fucking watch this channel, please. Thank you. Okay, we've got our motor grip on here. I'm gonna tighten up the screw a little bit, just because it's gotta actually be in there, right? It can't just generally be on there. And battery is connected. Testing time. It got halfway and then seized up. I'll take that as a sign that it's too tight. Or maybe my battery's just empty. Could that be? It's doing the same shit again. It went halfway and then stopped. And then it shot and then stopped. And now it's not doing anything. Okay. Let's try a different motor. It might be a MOSFET issue after all. So I've got myself a different 11 1-volt battery here. Okay, it was a battery issue. Hear that? It's firing pretty nicely now. Battery's not getting hot, and doesn't seem like the motor is either, so I think we're good to put her back together for a final time. And then we're gonna be done here. Yay! Mag catch goes next, then the back, and then the upper. It's in there. Now we go to the other side. And that, wait, do I have a screwdriver with the right head handy? I don't think I do. Okay, we good. Put this back through, the spring's still in there, which isn't that great, but it's not bad either, it's fine. Look. Okay, that's working as intended. Now for the buffer tube. This is my Speedsoft Gun, so we have a drop stock adapter right here. That's gonna go on first. Because, well, drop stocks. Drop stocks are comfy, okay? Fight me. Fucking drop stocks are great. I love me a decent drop stock. Just... I do get that they ruin the aesthetic, right? But you have to realize, Airsoft, it's not all about aesthetics. And especially for me, I'm not there for the aesthetic. I'm not there to... Well, I do like looking cool, but in the end, if I go onto the Speedsoft field, I want to win. I want to play and I want to win. And a drop stock will help to do that, unlike a straight stock, because it gives me an actual proper decent point of contact and it allows me to use my RMR on top of it. Pretty sure it's an RMR. So yeah. Where the fuck did I put the buffer tube? I've just gotta find it. Where'd I put it? There it is. Cool. Now I've just gotta also find the screws that go along with it. There. Here they are. So we've got ourselves our buffer tube and the screws for it. In case you were wondering, yeah, this is painted. This is spray painted. And the reason for that is colored buffer tubes, especially like proper quality ones, are fucking expensive. Like if you want CNC aluminum, you're paying a hefty price for that. And frankly, I don't have that kind of money. I do have one, but it didn't fit, and it's a shitty painted Lancer tactical one. So it's really not much better to begin with. Let's get it moved up a little closer. And put the screwdriver through again to put pressure on the screw. Find the screw first. 1 second. I need light. I know this shot is already a little bright for y'all, but I need to see. I'm also gonna have to wrap this up soon because I'm gonna have interviews for the apartment that I'm moving out of very soon. I need to find the next tenant in order to pass it on, and I kind of need to get ready for that as well. I have another hour before the first one of those, I think. No, another 2 hours, okay. So either way, really gonna want to finish up soon. Right, this is kind of boring anyway, so I'm gonna do it off screen because it's much easier for me that way. And all I'm doing is putting in a screw, so it's not like you're missing out on much. Whee! Yes, I'm screwing this gun right now. Haha, haha. I'm really sorry for this. I'm just not able to do this on camera because the stupid fucking screw isn't doing what I want it to. Stupid piece of shit. Sorry, I'm cussing it out right now. That tends to help. Might have helped, I can't tell if it did. But it does seem to be going a little better now. Yep, cool. We've hit the end point, so I can just adjust up the ring. On a gas blowback gun or any gun where the outer threading is actually relevant, this would be necessary as a castle nut to keep it in place, but in this case I just need it tightened enough so it looks coherent. And then I'm gonna put my MOSFET back inside the buffer tube where it's nice and protected, as well as the little jumper, because I don't want it to fucking be exposed either. And now I can put on the stock. That's on there. It's got a Ghibli motive because I like Ghibli movies. Nothing deeper there. I just really like Ghibli movies. And a lot of people personalize their guns with stickers. I wanted to do that too. Originally, I was gonna do hentai stickers, but then I thought about it and I was like, I've seen kids at the fields I go to, and not everyone's in anime, and not everyone thinks it's funny, so it might be better if I just go with something a little tamer. So I figured Ghibli. Because why not Ghibli, right? Let's see, this is a little too bright right now. It's fine though. I like the sunlight, okay? Just fucking deal with it. Cool, we can put the upper receiver on here now. And it's a little scuffed right now. This is it. This is the upper. As you can see, like I said, no handguard at the moment. Which isn't great, but it is what it is. So, again, nothing I can do about it. 1 second, let me just clear up the space a little so I can have a little more space to work with here. And just, there we go. Gotta pull the charging handle back to get it onto the gearbox properly. And gotta get the hop unit aligned with the gearbox nozzle before doing the rest of it, because it's misaligned. Which is natural, because I've got a third-party hop unit with a third-party gearbox and a third-party body. It's going to mess up a little. I put a scratch on it, that sucks. But I don't care all that much either. Get it aligned with the outer barrel. And with that we should be able to just click it all into place. There we go. Now we've just got to put in the body pin. Body pins are everything in airsoft. Hey. Ta-da! And with that, I'm gonna switch over to a different screen for a second. Hello there. I've been sitting here looking like this the whole time. I know my hair is scuffed. I haven't showered yet. Leave me alone. Don't come at me. This is her finished. I'm still gonna put a handguard on. I don't like handguardless guns. It's obviously I could run her like this. It'd probably be pretty effective for Speedsoft, but I want a handguard. Also, what's nice about this gun is it's got a Spitfire tracer. See that? So it simulates a muzzle flash. Whenever you fire a BB. But obviously I'm not going to actually fire BBs because I'm in my room, and A, I don't want a mess, and B, I have a TV and screens and a fucking mirror in my room, and I don't want to blow them up, so. I just need to fix the sound of that, but I can't wear headphones for that, and I'm gonna keep them on as long as I'm streaming, so. Yeah, this is gonna be it for now. Either way, this is the airsoft gun we've built. This is it completely finished, and I would say that was a pretty good fucking go at teching I had there. That was fun. I feel satisfied with that. I'm gonna go clean up my shit now, and I'm going to wish you a very pleasant afternoon, evening, whatever it may be, wherever you are right now. I hope you've enjoyed the stream. I hope you've had a good time. Maybe learned something. There might have been something to learn somewhere between the lines today. Either way, thanks for watching. You're Stardust, I'm Stardust, we're all Stardust, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye.